one of the greatest players in history was cheated out of his career.
I noticed Mahmoud was not standing for the national anthem.
Am I saying that everything in America is bad? No. But wherever the bad is, as a Muslim, we don't stand for it.
Mahmoud never said, I'm gonna burn the house down, but the Klan burned his house down.
His willingness to take a stand, he should be celebrated for that.
Thank you, I appreciate this. You want one of these?
I'm good, KG.
You want your ginger shot?
I'm good, man, I'm good.
I need some positivity today. I'm trying to cover this spread, and your vibe is off, G.
What's wrong with my vibe?
You gotta get you one of these, G. Get to sip some of this positivity in your life, and boom! You see that? Spread's covered. Thank you, Mama. In a minute, G. Ha ha! Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's a big one today. I got my big OG in here, man. Mr. Sky Rider himself, man. J.R. Rider today. Thank you, big dog.
Thank you, brother.
My
Take
dog.
it. My dog, my dog. My loved one right there, man.
Straight up. A lot of people don't know, man, this was like my big brother, man. I had like probably like 3 or 4 different big brothers when I came to Minnesota. Sam Mitchell, Terry Porter, and then I had J.R. You know, Sam and Terry was like older guys. J.R. was like my next big brother, you know what I'm saying? I never had a big bro. And yeah, J.R. was like the closest thing I had to like a big brother. So man, this means a lot for you to be here, man. How you been, man?
I've been good. I've been well, man. Thanks for having me, man. You've always been a brother to me, man, like seriously. A little brother since minute one, man, you know? So I think that is true. You had the real vets and professionals and big bros to teach you.
I needed that too.
Yeah, you needed it.
Needed that.
I needed it at the time.
Straight up.
And I was like 24, 25, so I was, you know, a little older than you, you know what I mean? And I looked at you as a little brother, try to protect you, you know what I mean? Try to rock with you, you know what I mean?
Facts, you was my dog, man, my everything, man.
Yes, sir.
So the first question I gotta ask you, man, is, Jay, man, I never heard anything about your upbringing. I never heard a story about any of your early beginnings. Can we start there? Talk about your early beginnings, man, and growing up, you know, in Oakland.
Yeah.
You know, starting off as a young kid. Tell me about that a little bit.
Of course. Born in Oakland, California, right? So my dad was a Navy guy. He was in the Navy for 20 years. So wow. my younger brother and I are born in Oakland, California, eventually moved to Alameda and went to schools in Alameda all my life. Played CYO in Oakland as far as sports.
Right.
And, you know, we're right through the tunnel. So the Parrot Village Project, so it's like 5 minutes away from the Coliseum, 5 minutes away from the A's and the Raiders. So, you know, growing up in that area was awesome. It was a sports world, you know, it was many sports teams. You had the Black Panthers, you know, it was a conscious, Bay Area was conscious. It was beautiful, water, valleys, you know,
music
great
scene.
Communities, music scene. Many great groups come from Oakland. Many great R&B groups, many great rap artists. For me, it was community-based. You know, it was and sports-based. So growing up in the town was like all about sports, family, music, and our people. And it was a conscious movement at the time.
What'd you gravitate to?
I personally gravitated to sports. All my life, really from 7 years old all the way up.
Okay.
My mom and dad, they were together, and they always had their children in sports, different events.
Got you.
And that's pretty much how we grew up. And I gravitated to sports, definitely. Yeah.
What in particular, what sport? I know you got the A's, you got the Oakland Raiders, you got Across the Bridge, you got 49ers, you got the Giants, you got the Warriors. And then over here, you got a whole music scene with 40, Too Short.
Yes.
You got Little D and the whole neighborhood going, and politics, and then And then you got the Black Panthers part, like you said, all this, when you coming outside, like what's like all of it's influencing you, what are you gravitating to?
For me, coming outside, like you said, there's so much culture there.
Facts.
You know, it was so much conscious and so many movements to uplift the people. I remember that, you know, being young. And at the end of the day, and there was so much pushing kids to sports, to get out of the streets, to get out of the way. Because Oakland is a real serious town. It's a heavy town. Right. It's a hustling town, right. As well as the Black Panthers are, you know, so it's conscious, it's hustling, and there's sports, you know, and it's a hard-working town. Gotcha. Diverse community. You know, I grew up with a really diverse community coming from there. Every ethnicity, every racial group there. But I think overall it was more like, what do you want to get into? You know, there was the A's, there were the Warriors, right. There was street stuff, right. There was rap, right. There was R&B. You know, there's a lot to do there, wow. Right? But it's like, what do you gravitate early? What do you get into early? So in my family, they push school, they push sports. So, you know, with all those options later, I think early in my life, it was just fun having kids, man. Gotcha. You know, kids having fun, doing their thing. And then later on, you start to choose what path you want to go down. And a lot of people in my neighborhood, in my projects, they didn't want me to get into things that they were getting into. And a lot of times we've seen these people before us, and we wanted to change our lives. You know, we didn't want to end up in the community, end up in the hood. You know, so I always had a dream and aspiration to go play football or baseball, and then I got into basketball. But I played all sports, and I was hoping to leave the community, what I was trying to do, but I just remember the Bay Area being strong, you know, in all aspects, in all phases. You know, I went to the Warriors game, I went to the Raiders game, I went to the A's games, went to a few Niners games, and I supported all teams, Niners, Raiders, you know, all of that. You know, I'm not just a Raider fan, so I support the Bay Area in general, so.
What position in football?
I was a linebacker and running back. Word. So I was 8 years old to about 13. Excuse me, I played running back and linebacker. And then that's what I wanted to play. You know what I mean? That was my first love, was baseball. So I played that from 6 years old all the way up to 15.
What position in baseball?
Baseball, I was catching, pitching, and playing some outfield. Yes, hey, believe that as a catcher. So we won the World Series when I was 14. So that's 8th grade going into 9th grade. I played the whole summer, didn't play basketball not once because we played so much baseball and we were winning. So we won in San Leandro. We beat, I think, Oakland. And then, we were San Leandro, we beat Oakland. So I'm Alameda All-Stars, we beat Oakland All-Stars. And then we moved on to NorCal. We won in NorCal. We beat a Southern California team, I think Van Nuys. And then we went to the World Series.
Holy shit.
So I'm playing all summer. And we won the World Series in Jamestown, New York.
Damn,
I'm 14 years old.
Say
exactly.
Word.
And I'm catching. So mind you, I'm 6 feet in 8th grade. I'm athletic, I'm dunking. I'm known as a football player and a baseball player. But I could hoop. I definitely could hoop. You know what I mean? 6th, 7th, and 8th. I was hooping. I loved it. Went to the boys' clubs, played CYO, and I loved it. And I fell in love with hoop about 6th grade. So, but I grow the whole summer from 6 feet to 6'5", but I'm catching the whole summer. So I'm squatting, bending down in a position. I was a hustling catcher, aggressive catcher, and I took it serious. And obviously our team, I played on a team full of studs, period. About two or three of those guys went pro. What's up, boys? You know what I mean? And it was an awesome feeling. But I was squatting, KG. I didn't know I'm working out my legs.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know I'm working out my legs, and I threw the ball on the line. You know what I mean? And sometimes as I got older, I mean, as I grew to about 6'5" that summer, so I was like 6'3" and a half, my knees started hurting a little bit from growing and catching.
Oh, wow.
I told the coach, hey, can I throw off my knees to second base? Because my knees hurt sometimes to stand up, you know what I mean? And I can get it off quick. He said, let me see, try it. Let me see what you're talking about. So I would catch. Sometimes I would just drop to my knees and I would lay flat. And I would throw the ball on the line. Pow. You know what I mean? If you go in my neighborhood community, they thought I was going to go pro in baseball. Oh, wow. I batted third, fourth, and fifth, power hitter. Yeah, played all my life through Heat, through about 90. You know what I mean?
Word.
Yeah, I was a good player. But catching was my thing for that team because, like I said, it was a team full of studs, and I probably couldn't start any other position. So and it was two 14-year-olds, and the rest of the team was 15s. So I called all summer, man. But anyway, after that summer, I go to high school. Football starts, 2-a-days. So I walk on the field. A lot of tradition in my high school for football, right? My brother was a quarterback for 4 years, and I'm little rider coming up. So I'm thinking, now I'm 6'5". I was big already, but I'm 6'5".
Brother had a reputation?
Brother had a reputation.
Okay, gotcha.
Was awesome, right? And people knew I was coming.
Oh, wow.
So I step on the field, and coach puts me on freshman. I'm like, Coach, you might not want to put me on freshman. You probably want to play me on varsity. So I had some varsity guys co-signing for me. You know what I mean? And like, man, nah, put him up, bring him up, bring him up. He left me down. First day of practice, I give a kid a concussion, I'm hitting, I'm mad because they don't want, my whole thing was I want to play varsity football. I've been thinking this for the last 3 years.
You thought you was ready for that?
Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, as if everybody wants to go to Encinitas to play football. So I'm there, put me on freshman, I'm cracking skulls. So I'm playing middle linebacker and quarterback, right? So I have on my batting gloves and neck roll, middle linebacker, and take off my batting gloves when it's time for offense and just kind of scoop my neck roll back just a little bit. But I was a baller. I was a baller, KG. So I'm doing this. So after about 5 games, I used to wear my brother's jersey. It was a red jersey, right, from New Mexico State. He was playing free safety at New Mexico State. So he was on to college now. He was sending me his jersey. Our colors were blue. I wear the red jersey in practice, right, out of defiance a little bit. And loving on my brother. Coach get mad one day and says, take off that jersey. I said, nah, I'm not taking off this jersey. It's my brother's jersey. I'm practicing on it. And he was a freshman. I mean, he was the varsity coach. So mind you, I'm on freshman. And this is the varsity coach telling me to take off this jersey. So he puts me bull in the ring. So I'm in the middle of the ring. Samoans, white boys, Filipinos, Mexicans, blacks, mixed races. So I'm from
the ring is when you got to
bull in the ring. You in the middle, everybody circles you.
Right.
And he sends people.
And you can get hit from any direction.
Every direction. You got to chop your feet. You turn around as he calls the whistle. You turn around. People coming. Yeah. So I'm hitting. Boom. I'm hitting. Boom. So I'm going heads with the seniors. You know what I mean? And the juniors and the varsity. Holding my own. So after about the 8th hit, only person I didn't go heads with was Hila Misuisui. He was Samoan with about 270, about 6'5", about my height, 6'4", 6'5". I acted like I was gonna hit him and said, no thanks, right? It was funny, man. But I hit the other Samoans, Jesse Talatasi. I hit big boys, Dre, all of them. Anyway, so we hit each other and I'm hitting them. So he sends everybody. He sends the house, they jump on top of me. The JV and freshmen helped me, and Andre Botley helped him get him off me, right? I get up, I'm fired up. Because about 3 of them, I let them have it, right? I'm fired up. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, see, I told you I should be on varsity, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm talking. So we go back, prove my point. I stay on freshman. I play out my freshman year, and then I say, I'm done with football. I never played football again. Wow. I said, man, I'm a hooper, man. I'm cool. I didn't like the way that happened. I was pissed off. My whole thought was like, man, I can't wait to be, you know what I mean, with the jet blue. Right. That didn't happen. It didn't go my way. I was like, okay.
How old are you right
now?
How old are you at this age?
I'm a freshman. I'm a freshman. Okay, so mind you, the traditional coach, Pete Noble, had been there for years, you know, for decades. Okay. So I had seen him when I was young, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He left the year I was a freshman and went to a different high school. So now it's a new coach. So that happened. I was discouraged with football, just went hoop and never looked back. Wow. I didn't play football again until my senior year. All my boys and my brothers were like, man, come play, we need you, da-da-da. Right. I was like, nah, I'm good. But I went out there and played that year for about 6 games, played free safety and tight end, was killing. And then I was like, nah, I'm done, man, I'm a hooper. You know what I mean?
Get a great offer courtesy of KG Certified and BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Sign up using bonus code KG1000 and your first bet is risk-free, up to $1,000. The BetMGM Parlay Specials, daily odds boosts, fan-friendly promos make it the best place to bet on all your favorite sports, for real. Download the BetMGM app today or go to betmgm.com and enter bonus code KG1000 and place your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Yes, I said it, $1,000. Nothing beats a W at BetMGM. How was your high school basketball, man? You didn't really hear too much.
Yo.
How was high school basketball for you?
My freshman year, I played football. Basketball comes around, I'm ineligible. I don't play basketball my freshman year.
Right.
You know, I'm catching lives, I'm dunking, I'm going between the legs, I'm doing Dominique's dunks, George dunks, because that's who we emulated, those two, you know what I mean? Taking outside the paint. I mean, I got the same, I was jumping just as high then as I ever did in my life. That's the craziest thing about it. I trip off my life, like that part of it. I was jumping so high, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. After that, the NBA, I started more, it's about your game, how you get buckets. You know what I mean? You still can catch somebody here and there, but I started to, but anyway, rewinding, I didn't play my freshman year. Sophomore year came, I played, I tore it up, I'm on the map. You know what I mean? I'm on the map, getting recruited by everybody. I'm there, you know what I mean? 6'5", 210, 212, hops. Playing center because I'm the biggest man on the team, but I was, you know, with a skill, with a bag. Because I always played a guard before that, so when I grew, I kept the same skill.
Did you go to any camps, any ABCD, any Nikes?
I was underground, I'm the underground, man. Yeah, I didn't go, so my sophomore year I played, my junior year I played, this is high school, did very well. Then I went to the Nike camp, between junior and senior year. I got the invite to Nike camp. That was an awesome experience. That's the first camp I'd ever been to in my life. I didn't go to, I think it was 5-star. One more, I believe. I didn't go to any of it. I didn't go to none of that. Like I said, I kind of was like, I said, I'm doing hoop now as a freshman. Although I played at 6th, 7th, and 8th CYO in Oakland against Pascal, St. Charles, St. Liz. All the hitters of Oakland, you know what I mean? SLB. But yeah, so I got invited to Nike camp.
Who was in Nike when you was there?
Yo, Nike camp, met Kenny Anderson. Ooh. My God, I'm in 6th grade seeing Kenny Anderson in the Sports Illustrated, like, he looked cold.
What was he like back then? He was still that deal?
KA was for real.
Faster, younger?
Fast, quick, no joke. Faster, younger. He was a killer in high school. He smoothed out. Well, he had some good years in the league, but he smoothed out. But you know, whatever. You know what that happens, right? But he was a killer. He was world renowned. He was like point guard. That was the point guard back then. It was like everybody was KA. He was a phenom. People come to watch. Everybody come to the court. But Jim Jackson, Conrad McRae, rest in peace. Terry DeHare, Bobby Hurley. Class of '89, I can't even think. It was so many, all the LA cats, Tracy Murray, you know what I mean, Harold Miner, Orlando Lightfoot was out of, I think, Carolina, somewhere.
Great names. All these hitters.
Adrian, oh my God, I can't even think, but it's so many guys. Malik
Sealy.
Rest in peace. Malik, you know what I mean? Malik Sealy was there. It was so many guys, man. You know, whoever I left out, my bad. But it was deep, and that changed me. I went there and was like, ooh, these dudes are getting it in. New York, Jersey, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Indiana, Chicago. Oh, and Nike camp, Michael Smith, I think it's the Smith. Him and KA is a dude from DC. They used to go at it. That was a show, you know what I mean? Those two, he was for real. I think he got some trouble later, but he would have been in the league, this kid. He was no joke. They know who I'm talking about, this DC kid. But yeah, that changed me because there was so many great players, so many dudes so serious about hoop. Like,
motivation.
They was in there, I could tell, they was playing for bread and meat. I say that today to kids. It's a difference when if kids that's playing for bread and meat, y'all just get it good. Y'all suburbs, or y'all train all week. Y'all got gym, y'all got 7 pairs of shoes. When you played in New York, New Jersey, Carolina, Georgia, deep in them Louisiana, deep in them cuts.
Mud.
They playing for bread and meat. They have a whole different mentality. So I felt that way at the Nike camp, like, man, these dudes playing like to survive. They want to live. I wasn't at that point yet, like, yeah, I wanna, you know, like that's gonna be my living. I thought it was gonna be baseball and football. So now that I'm transferring over, I'm a killer in every sport now. It wasn't no fluke. But basketball was my back burner, although I was a killer at it early. That was my first camp, Nike camp, and they was playing so hard, KG, so good, so skilled. Mashburn was there as a junior, and he got MVP. Mashburn. You know what I mean?
Jamal Mashburn.
Mash.
Coldest.
Before he got swole, he was baby fat.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Killer.
6'8" handle. Hit threes, can post you up.
Footwork.
Fade away.
Fade away. Nasty. You know what I mean?
He gets lost in the shuffle.
So I'm like, look at these dudes.
So that made you serious? That made you think like,
it made me
I'm finna
check myself.
Oh, wow.
Not that I was all on my stuff, because I was a hungry dude. I wasn't #1 in the Bay, Calvin Bird was, but I knew I was. I was the hungry dude from the public school. Jay Kidd, all of the rest of the, you know, Calvin Bird, they was St. Joe's, Bishop O'Dowd, da-da-da. I'm a public school. I'm a neighborhood public school type of cat. So I'm looking at them with the new shoes, the fresh uniforms, this, that, and the other, like, I'm hungry. I'm the hungry one.
Polished.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm looking at these guys like, wow, they were so good. I was nice, but they was nice. So I was like, and they were playing for something different. So I went home, reprocessed, reassessed. I think I was ranked 90th in the camp or whatever it was out of 120, 130. Whether that was fair or not, it doesn't matter. But I went home with a hunger. I said, I'm better than that. And them cats is nice, but once I get in the lab, I had never worked out.
Really?
For hoop, we just played. We played all sports. I never, you know, I never no trainer, I didn't know nobody, whatever. Rest in peace to Mr. Bullock. You know what I mean? My coach. You know what I mean? A great man. I was gonna say great white man, it doesn't even matter. It's like a dad to me, you know what I mean? A great man, and to the Bullock family, rest in peace. 8th grade, he taught me elbow in. 6th, 7th, and 8th, I played CYO. Elbow in, fundamentals, footwork. This is how you keep your jumper.
Facts.
So I always was the athlete, but with a J. Because of Mr. B, he taught me the hoop game 6th, 7th, and 8th with my athleticism. So that was my only teacher.
Wow.
So high school, that guy didn't teach.
You playing in the park? I know you at the park. I know
I'm a project, baby.
No doubt. I know you playing street ball. I know you playing street ball.
I was the only youngster that could play in my neighborhood with the old heads, with the OGs. You know what I mean? Because it was 3-on-3 and they were serious about it. You know, they were serious about it. So it was deep. We'd be 20 deep out there playing. And I'm a youngster. We had 2 courts, so that's for the youngsters. And I was the only one at probably about 12, 13, they I could hoop with the old heads and get it in and have serious runs Saturday and Sundays. And that's who raised me. That's who got me. You know what I mean? What's up to the P-ville? That's who got me where I'm at. They raised me. They trained me. You know what I mean? And then I played, like they say, middle school basketball, CYO. That was nice with all the Oakland schools, hitters. You know what I mean? So I told you I got in the hoop later, but I always played it in the neighborhood. I always played, my AAU team was Barry Campbell, cats out of Oakland, so it was the Oakland-Berkeley slash team. That was my AAU team, and we got it in and played with Terrell Lowry and others. That's where I played AAU against Frisco, Oakland, and that was my AAU team. So that was freshman, sophomore, junior. I played for that. And for them. And then we get it in at Mosswood Park. We get it in at the different parks in Oakland so we'd meet up. Piedmont Park, you know what I mean, Frisco. So all the hoopers would meet up, and that's when I would run into the to the different cats in the Bay Area that was really, really, really hooping. The Steve Rankins, the J Kidd. J Kidd was a youngster a little bit, but they had him under his wing. The J Kidd, the Steve Rankins. You know what I mean? The different guys like that I like, the Terrell Lawrys that I looked up to, the Hook Mitchells that I looked up to, and that was hooping. And during that time, Hook Mitchell and B. Ward, Scotty Bow, the West Oakland boys, they used to pick me up from my neighborhood and take me to hoop everywhere.
Wow.
So I'm 14, 15, 16.
That's dope.
They taking me everywhere to hoop.
So you hooping
everywhere
places?
in West Oakland, everywhere in East Oakland. We go to Frisco, and Hook was a beast. So after we do all of that, he might say, well, man, we might want to get a little workout in though.
What you mean?
Sit-ups, push-ups, and some burpees or something.
Wow, he was
you know what I mean? Hook was an animal. So I have Hook and B. Ward. What's up, loved ones? They went to my event I threw about a year ago. I'm sorry, less than a year ago for the neighborhood. They showed up, and I hadn't seen them in a while. But they, KG, they're instrumental in my basketball career.
Got you.
Meaning they picked me up and took me everywhere to hoop against all the neighborhoods, all the real ones. Because I'm hooping in my neighborhood. I hooped in middle school, but they taking me all through the town, all through the Bay, getting it in. You know what I mean? And Hook was a phenom. He was an animal. You know what I mean? 6 feet, size 14 shoe, jump about 50 inches off the ground, about 210, 215, a real point guard, a killer, no teeth. That's a whole nother thing, you know what I mean? But he's a neighborhood baby. So I didn't know at the time, Hook picking me up, but he's off heroin, he's off crack, he off weed, he off drink. He grew up like that. I ain't trying to be disrespectful. His story is out there, he'll tell it. You know what I mean? He grew up, man, so rough, so tough. And God bless it, he's still here, and he went through a lot. I love the brother, and he loves me. Since 8 years old, he grew up in a certain way. You know what I mean? So when they picking me up, I ain't knowing his habits. The rest of them, anyway, B. Ward didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't do anything. You know what I mean? But I didn't know Hook could still get down like that all day, every day. And when he say, man, I'll be right back, go to the bathroom, or he disappeared for about a minute and a half.
I knew what that was.
I don't know what he doing at the time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people drink, people smoke, but I don't know what he doing at the time. I say that to say, he still was a basketball animal and a phenom, better than J Kidd, better than GP.
Wow, that's a lot. That says a lot. That says a lot.
They're animals, but I think they'll tell you. I mean, like, if he really didn't have all that, he was different. I played with me and him against GP and J Kidd before, and I've heard other stories, you know what I mean? And I know what I've seen, I know what I know. But at the end of the day, this kid was doing those things, and I didn't know it. But at the same time, he had the wherewithal and the spirituality and the hoop love to come pick up a youngster who he thought had a tremendous talent.
He saw himself.
You know what I mean? He saw himself in me. You know what I mean? And B. Ward is just still a mentor, Leon Poe and different dudes. He's doing very, very well for himself. And he was right there too. So them and their boys from West Oakland picked me up, take me everywhere. I fell in love with hoop. You know what I mean? I'm falling in love with hoop. They preparing me for the Nike camp. You know what I mean? Not necessarily, but we hooping for real. Now that I'm a hooper, they got me.
Tell me how you get to UNLV. How you get to UNLV?
So, I'm doing well my sophomore year. I'm doing well my junior season. Senior year comes out, I play football for those six or so games. I'm getting recruited by everybody. Tark comes to my house for a school visit my junior year, So
you get recruited for football and basketball, you saying?
Football, I'm not worried about. I'm getting letters, but I'm not worried about that.
Just basketball?
Yeah, just basketball. I'm all basketball since my freshman year.
And then Tark comes
Although
to
I played my senior year, all of a sudden I'm getting recruited football, but I wasn't worried about that. Tark came to see me at home for a home visit my junior year. So U of A, UNLV. At the time, I was the East Coast dude as far as basketball, so I wanted to go Syracuse, Georgetown, Louisville.
Big East.
One of those.
You
know what I mean? Those are my dream schools, like when I was young. But so U of A, UNLV, all the big West schools were on me. I was just getting letters from the East, but nothing concrete. So yeah, Tart came to my house, so I was like, man, I'm probably gonna go to UNLV.
After or before? After?
He came to my junior year in high school, so senior year goes.
Got it.
I play football, I'm ineligible for basketball.
Oh, wow.
I don't play basketball my senior year.
Oh, wow.
A teaching moment to children and myself.
No doubt.
I used to be so pissed off because my own high school coach failed me. So part of me, he was, obviously I was doing not so good in a couple other classes, but me being my age now, I would have helped that child some way. Not skated him through, just got to him early.
Real help.
Get to my class.
Real help.
Be here, do what you have to do. You can't just, because I'm your coach, slide through. Right, he never did that. And I don't mean it in that way. I'm just saying, when grades came out, I got an F from him. I'm ineligible for my senior year. He knew what I had on the line. And I'm the first ever at that school in basketball to get any type of scholarship like this.
So you had to go do
So I would have helped me if I was him.
I got it.
So anyway, I'm ineligible. I'm going through it, KG.
You got to go JUCO?
I go to JUCO.
How was that for you?
So I go to JUCO in Kansas. Okay, let me rewind. Mitch Richmond, my brother. I love him, my big brother. I'm going through it. The newspaper, Oakland Tribune, Alameda Times-Star, San Francisco, they all talking bad and wrote their stories, and he's done. He'll just be in the neighborhood. He had it all. It's over because I was ineligible. Mitch Richmond was a rookie for the Warriors.
Oh, wow.
He starts to come pick me up. Well, he comes to the high school, walks on campus, and everybody's like, Mitch Richmond wants here to come see you, Jay. I'm like, what?
Mitch Richmond?
The Mitch Richmond.
Rock.
He was the rookie.
The Rock. Mitch.
The Rock, bro. And he was rookie of the year that year.
Holy shit.
He comes to the school because he hears about this kid. And he wants to help this kid, man. You know what I mean? That's how solid Mitch is, bro. He comes and says, man, what's up with you, bro? Principal said I could take you off campus. Come ride with me. He like, what's up with you? I'm like, man, I don't know. I failed school. I'm going through it, man. I'm trying to get eligible for the last part of the season or whatever, but that's what it is. He's like, man, I hear you're so talented, you're so articulate, you're a smart kid, you're just being lazy in school. It's not because you're incapable. What are we doing here? He started taking me bowling. He started taking me to the Warriors facility. So me and him playing two-on-two against Mullen and Marshallonis. I don't know if you remember Marshallonis.
Yeah, left-hander from overseas. A god.
About 220 back then.
Got a bunch of shit. He's the first Euro, you in and out, left, finish
yes,
right.
Sir. He was the first one.
Yeah. He was the first. I see the Euro.
I got to guard this dude. I'm in high school.
And he hella strong.
Strong.
Hey, grown man strong.
I come in the gym with Mitch.
How old are you?
I'm in high school. I'm 17.
Feeling yourself?
17, 18.
You confident, right?
Oh, I'm super confident.
Right.
Bouncy as ever.
So he got
very confident.
So he probably guarding Chris Mullen. You got Marshallonis.
Check me out. We walk in there. Yeah, I jump on Mullen.
Oh, okay.
Marshallonis over there doing exercises already with bands. His back arm sticking out so much, and his calves was so big. Yeah, you know what I mean? And he wasn't smiling.
Oh.
He wasn't interacting.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't,
Beast mode. He was on mode.
So I walk in as a young kid, big old thighs and stuff. I walk in like, okay, I'm gonna jump on Mully. I mean, Mully's a monster.
Facts.
But I'd rather jump on Mully. He moved a little slower. He
catch and shoot.
Yeah.
I calculated.
I work with that. I don't want to work with that animal. I already know what he do. He's full speed, head down, shoulder down. At least in games, I had never seen him up close and personal. So when I seen him, I'm like, ooh, he big as shit. Shoulders like this. So I jump on Mully. I'm like, Mitch, you jump over there. Mitch like, finna tie the shoe. He said, yeah, man, go on and get on Marshallonis, man. I said, no, grab him, man. You got him, man. He said, nah, go and grab him. I said, nah, man, you grab him. He said, nah, I be guarding that motherfucker every day. And he's a monster. He go hard, one speed every day. And we went earlier today. You got him. And he was giggling like it was funny to him. I'm like, all right, well, let's get it. But I'm like, damn, that's a grown-ass man over there, right? So we playing, no jumpers. Everything is hard right or hard left. And when he get to a spot, because I'm with him, but when he get to a spot, it's shoulder in the chest. Boom!
Get some space on you.
Boom! But I'm a football player, I'm a linebacker, and I'm a big young boy, you know what I mean? So he got me by about 10 pounds, but all muscle though, everywhere.
You ain't tripping off the contact.
I'm like, boom. So, but after about a game or about 2 games, I'm like, damn. So all he gonna do is bang, you know what I mean? And Mitch like, yeah, he's a monster. He said, but you doing good. So I'm going by him, no, I'm doing my shit, I'm going by him.
Right.
You know, but he's fast, he's strong, and I'm working. But I'm having a good day offensively. But I never forget defensively, oh yeah, NBA, that's some grown-ass men. Because The Rock was 220, 225. So I'm like 212. I'm like 213 at the time. And I wanted to, you know, anyway, I'll get to that. But so The Rock was big. So he's taking me there. I'm playing 2-on-2. We're going bowling. He's talking to me. I'm playing against Mullen and Marshallonis. That's when I started saying, that's also gave me confidence too. Like, I might can be in this league. I mean, it wasn't like he was just all him. You know what I mean? I was like, I can hang. You know what I mean? I think I want to go to the league or something. You know, I started having that dream. You mean like I want to do this? But The Rock was picking me up, KG, building my self-esteem, picking me up when the world was against me. You know, everybody like, you know, bouncing. You know, everybody writing me off. The media writing me off. You know, so I was in a down spot. So he brought me up, picked me up, and Lon Kruger, you know what I mean, K-State, where he went to, as a matter of fact, so now I'm ineligible, all the state schools are on me, not the universities, because of my grades.
Okay.
So all the state schools coming, they're everywhere. They come.
Wow.
So Kansas State was like, hey, we'll give you a chance, come out here. Mitch was like, yeah, boom, you should go for it. Lon Kruger's a great guy, and you should do it. I had many different options, but Mitch is in my corner now, mentoring me. So my mom was like, just leave. So I leave the middle of my senior year, would have been in my middle of my senior year, go to Kansas, take my GED as soon as I get there. Take my GED, pass, start taking college courses, and now I'm hooping with K-State players. So second semester, I'm in Kansas. I'm hooping with K-State players, doing my thing. Summer comes, go home for a little bit, go to Kansas, go to JUCO. And let me rewind, because this is a very emotional part of my life where my mom was like, just go. I was like, nah, I want to stay here. You know, as a kid, like, oh, I really wanted to stay home and figure it out, but it wasn't working out, and I was just home, and it was just,
familiar.
It was a lot of, it was just, you gotta change your energy. Yeah. That's the first time in my life I realized change is good. Yeah. So I got on a plane, and before I got on a plane, I remember I was cussing a little bit, and my mom, I never heard her cuss in my life, and I never cussed in front of her. I cussed a few times, she let it slide, you know what I mean? She understood. I got on the plane, crying on the plane, get there, and that journey begins. Take my GED, I'm hooping with the K-State players, and then I go home, come back to Kansas. I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, man, JUCO. Because in California, the JUCOs was trash, garbage, like, they was whack, bro. JUCO was not an option.
Wow.
So I'm like, JUCO? So I get to Kansas, the JUCOs is on. Texas and Kansas JUCOs,
best
they getting it.
JUCOs, I heard
they
the best
getting
JUCOs,
it. They getting after it. You know what I mean? They getting it.
Yeah.
I break Larry Johnson's records as a freshman.
Yeah.
Larry Johnson, many people
yeah.
out of there. But Larry Johnson was there. I break his records as a freshman, averaging about 31, 32, doing well. Hutchinson has where all the JUCOs go, I forget what they call it, a jamboree or whatever, championship.
Gotcha.
It's all at Hutchinson. We're all there. All the scouts are there. So now, John Thompson, everybody you can think of is there.
College coaches are
all
there.
the college coaches at this Hutchinson. This is my freshman season, so I just wasn't eligible. Now I'm playing every college coach you can think of. It's all of them. All of them. So I'm like, ooh, it's on. I'm playing.
They on you, Jay? They on you?
They're not supposed to talk to you. They can be there. They're behind a rope. They can see you, you can see them. but they whispering. You know what I mean? Winking and whispering and looking and like, you know, what's up? Like, you know what I mean?
Big John might come over there and just say something.
Yeah, John just looking. You know what I mean? People looking.
Right.
So, UNLV though, it don't matter now. UNLV, what's up?
They give you that look like,
what you gonna do? I'm like, what you mean what I'm gonna do? You really gonna stay in Kansas? I'm layup line. Every time I come by, you really gonna stay in Kansas? I don't know. Shit, man, you need to come back to UNLV. For real?
The whole layup line. The whole layup line.
Yeah. I come back around.
Got a bag for you.
I'll make sure I get at you.
Oh.
Holla at me. Right? I get to school, somebody tap me. You know what I mean? Hey, somebody want to meet you at the Sonic Burger. Sonic Burger, what the fuck? I'm a Cali cat. I don't know what the Sonic Burger is, but I had been there. It just didn't register. I'm like, oh yeah, the Sonic Burger. Okay, boom. Go to Sonic Burger. UNLV, like, basically, like, you want to come back to us? We ain't went nowhere. You got your stuff together. What's up? I'm like, oh, wow. I'm supposed to go to K-State. I'm rocking with Mitch. That's Mitch's man. Yeah, what do you do, right? So anyway, I say, yeah, okay, yeah, I tell Tark it's good. So the rest was history. I go back. Yeah, it changed the core. A lot of people pissed off.
Fuck it. Sure, you gotta.
You know, as a kid, you know, it wasn't malicious. You know, even to this minute, you know, I appreciate all the people that helped me because they changed my life. They changed the course. They gave me a chance. But, you know, just like Deion's, even right now, you know, opportunity comes, you have to do what you have to do for you at that time. So I chose to go on to UNLV, and yeah, the rest was history, man. I went there. This is the thing about it. When UNLV won I would have been a freshman at UNLV.
When they won the championship?
I know Anderson Hunt was there. Wow. I just envisioned myself being starting two guard, but they won the championship. I cried after they won it because I should have been on that team.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's just funny how things come full circle anyway, but I remember I cried. So that next sophomore year, they sent me, I couldn't go, I could have went to UNLV and sat out because of rules. I didn't want to sit out. I sat out my senior year of high school. I never wanted that feeling again. So I went and played JUCO in LA, in Palmdale, Lancaster. And Tark's son was also one of the coaches there. Then after that, I went to UNLV and played my last 2 seasons there.
Well, had some unbelievable games and fun. Were you get to Minnesota, rookie year, you get drafted. Both of us number 5s, you know what I'm saying?
Fever in the funk house, baby.
Right,
5 times.
You hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 5-star elites in here, you feel me? You get to Minnesota. What's your first impression of Minnesota? First impression of Minnesota, as soon as you get there, boom.
First impression of Minnesota?
First impression.
Man, it's cold as witches. Boy, a witch's tetas. Man, hey.
So the same thing, you was frozen.
Okay. I'm a lame in the hoop, man. Like, I didn't know about expansions and da-da-da and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I'm a Cali boy, so it was the Lakers, this, that, and the other. You know, a little bit of the Warriors. But anyway, so I didn't fully grasp the NBA like that. You know what I mean? Like, the history of it, studied it, this, that, and the other. But so coming to Minnesota, I was like, let's go, it's on. I knew it was cold, but I didn't have an ill feeling like, this is gonna be horrible. This team is, what is this?
Right.
I don't want to play there, or da-da-da. I was like, let's go. Right. I was so happy, man, to be in the league, and it changed my life and changed my family's life, man. So I first thought of Minnesota like, let's go, let's get to it. So I was excited.
One of my favorite things is when you called it. If I jump in a dunk contest, I'm telling everybody now, I'm taking it. Bro, you just jumped out there like you own. You sip some? Are you coming off the point like you conscious what you saying?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you the real about that.
Always.
I was jumping real high at 15, 16, 17, 18. You know, I was doing a lot of things. So I could do the Jordan dunks, except for the free throw line. I was doing almost from the free throw line. I asked Jay Kidd about that. I jumped over him in San Francisco. It was 5 people almost from the free throw line. He was one of them in high school, my senior year. But I could do their dunks, and I was going between the legs at like 15, 14. And it was perfected, right? And I was like, you know how people throw it up now and do it? I could do that too. But at the end of the dunk contest, to Antonio Davis, they wanted me to do one more dunk. I was like, I'm gonna just throw it up. I'm gonna just throw it up and go between the legs. Tone was like, no, no, no. Tee that up too. That's what I was talking about. So I had another variation, but I was like, I'm going between the legs. I'm doing Neek's dunks. I'm doing George's dunks. Yeah. I'm a freak the dunk contest when I get up there. Me and Harold Miner going at it our whole lives early on. He snuck me. He snuck me. He snuck me when it mattered. He snuck me in. He snuck me my second year. You know what I mean? I couldn't finish that. You know, my boys had me out all night, man. Oh, man. But anyway, no, we was going at it as youngsters, going at it. So I was very confident about the dunk contest. So I'm watching the dunk. In college, I did this in college. So I had freaked it with a Gucci leak on underneath.
I saw that.
So I freaked it in college. And I threw it up and windmilled. I had a better college dunk contest than I did the pros. But anyways, I freaked it in college and everybody was like, ooh. But low key, it didn't jump out, right? So, boom. I seen Sean Kemp. I forget who it was. Sean Kemp was somebody else that year prior. Maybe D Brown. I don't know. Somebody in that time. I was like, yeah, I think I could beat Sean Kemp in a dunk contest.
Ooh, shit.
Sean Kemp was a game dunker. He'd do anything in a game. And he was freaky in dunk contests. But he was a game dunker to me. And I don't know why you know, even the dunk contest me and him had, he seemed nervous. I'm like, why is Sean Kemp nervous? That's what Rain, man, that boy can jump. He can do whatever he want to do. But he was lightweight nervous. I don't know if it was the pressure because he had lost the year before or the year before. I don't really know. But he seemed a little nervous. But anyway, going into that, I was like, I'm gonna win the dunk contest. But I knew Sean Kemp was dangerous. And Harold Miner too, but I was confident because he couldn't go between the legs. So I'm like, I'm gonna bring that on Harold. We both can, you know, between reverses and certain stuff. But I had about 2 or 3 more dunks than Harold my whole life. So I'm like, I was confident, but Kemp, I didn't know. So I was like, yeah, if I get it and I tell you I'm taking it, I'm telling everybody right now. And I just felt like I'm gonna market myself. And
man, let's say it. Can't none of these niggas fuck with me,
I'm gonna market myself.
Can't none of these niggas fuck with me.
And can't nobody fade me, right? Can't nobody fade me. I'm coming into the league. I'm taking the league by storm. And I felt like, you know, they're gonna give me my props right now.
What made you name that dunk the East Bay Funk? Now, what did that name mean for you to put that whole name on it? Like, what does that name mean?
For me, I didn't really have a name for it at the time. So when they asked me that, it was spontaneous, right? So in Oakland, when we say funk and we say funkin', it's really Warren. We use funk, back then we used funk as Warren. In the streets, they was Warren. We was funkin' with such and such. We got funk with you. You know what I mean? So I didn't really want to say Oakland funk at that time. Not that I was thinking that everybody knows what that means, but I wanted to, I represent the Bay Area in the whole. I represent the Northern California in the whole, whether it's from Oakland to Sac and Sac to Oakland, you know what I mean? I represent the Bay though. So when I say the East Bay, that's the area where we're from, Oakland, Alameda, Hayward, everything in the East Bay, San Francisco, everything in the East Bay is right there. So I just want to represent San Francisco, Oakland, Hayward, San Lorenzo, San Leandro, and everything in between as a whole, instead of just generalizing it just to Oakland.
Gotcha.
So I was marketing again in my own way, spontaneous. You know what I mean? I don't want to just keep it to the city. I want to keep it to the Bay.
I gotta ask you this, man. How do you feel when you see? The other day, I just watched this, man. I seen LeBron's son the other day in a game, East Funk. When you see kids now in real live games, not no dunk contest, Jay.
Yeah.
Not no damn dunk contest no more. I'm talking about in the game. I seen one kid bounce it in, I think either he jumped and they got another remix on the East Bay now, bro.
Like, I know.
You know what I'm saying? It's out of control. What do you, man, when you sitting there and knowing that you birthed this is your baby, like, what are you thinking when you see this now, dog? Everybody's doing this now.
I love this shit, KG. I love this shit, yo. I mean, real talk, bro. I mean, me doing it as a youngster, everybody went behind the legs, between the legs, you know, I'm behind the back, between the legs, layup, da-da-da. And I start freaking that shit, like, man, I'm gonna freak this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna freak it, right? So I'm out the league, right? But I'm seeing every high school, every college, every pro dunk contest doing the East Bay Funk dunk. But they calling it the between the legs. Or a few years, they had put Kobe on there doing it, and not me. I'm watching though. Kobe. Rest in peace to the Don Dada.
Side note, Kobe Bryant won the 1996. He won the 1996 dunk contest by doing the East Bay Funk dunk, in which he had 2 attempts. He missed the first one, and then actually got it and executed it right the second time, and then won the dunk contest. That's a true story.
So I'm sitting back, like I should still be in the league, damn. But I'm watching this like, okay, cool. I'm loving it, right? Kobe, LeBron. Vince Carter freaked it, right? Obviously. Great idea, having it thrown up. He's just a great angle, right? Freaked it. I remember I'm at the crib, like watching it. It was in Oakland. I'm watching like, damn, look at that. I loved it. So I'm loving the evolution of it, but I'm seeing it in real time. Like, damn, they taking my shit, man, and elevating it and doing it and keeping it alive, but nobody's hollering, what up, Jay Ryder? Yeah, I'm doing the East Bay Funk dunk. Yeah, this Jay Ryder shit. Nobody wore my jersey. Nobody brought me to the arena. Nobody's saying shit. I'm seeing all this happening, right? Like you know what I'm talking about too, all these jerseys and dunks and people coming and representing. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm the bad boy like that. And then my own peers ain't representing like that. Okay, so I'm not getting mad. It's love. I get it, and people are talking about it, and some people will say, "Hey, that J.R. Ryder, the first one to do it," and it kept my name afloat. And the NBA, sometimes for a while, they would still have me in that dunk. I would see it like when they do the dunk contest. Boom, there I go, you know, boom, and it made me feel great. So the evolution of it, every college, every high school, every pro was doing it. Okay, fast forward, and 10 years later, they still were doing it. Different variation, different ways, freaking it, and I love it.
Right.
But I'm like, the world ain't giving me my real props.
It's almost like we can go back and we can always watch Star Trek, right? Star Wars, right? We can go back and we can watch a young Han Solo, a young Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, whole thing, right? At the end of the day, we see Star Wars is always gonna have that little trademark sign down there.
True talk.
That's how I look at the East Bay Funk.
Yes.
Each time someone does that, and 2, I don't give this generation no credit for knowing their history. You know, they think, you know, if it looked like a Coke, tastes like a Coke, it's Coke. You know what I'm saying? They don't know Pepsi, RC Cola, all these, and different variations of the Coke. You know what I'm saying? I say this to say that sometimes for someone to make it a remix or to bring it, and the biggest form of flattery is to copy. You know what I'm saying? I don't give everybody the due diligence that they know where things originate from. People see it, they be inspired by it, and they go. And that's where we live at. And each time I think someone does that dunk, it always reminds me of the original. Because how can you appreciate a remix if you never heard the original?
True story.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
sir.
in this own right. I love it that they don't know. Here comes a immediate history lesson right in your face to where this comes from.
True talk.
And then when you see whenever I've actually told someone where that dunk comes from, their facial expression and their appreciation, and then they go and they search and they look for it, and they look for it, and they look for it, and look for it.
Yes.
Say, holy shit. And guess what that does? Oh, okay. From a dunker's perspective, it's still encouraging, it's still inspiring you, but I saw J.R. Ryder first do it like this. I wonder if I can do it like this. And that's the encouraging part. You know what? It's always gonna come back to the wax.
Always. And honestly,
always.
I feel appreciative and I feel humble and I feel thankful.
Nah, but you want that stamp of approval though.
Because
Real
I
shit.
do, like sometimes I have gotten in my little so-called feelings like, man, they need to give me some more love, you know what I mean? Because, the name, they're trying to, forget the name and move on to the next and have a certain person.
It can never do that.
As the
original stamp on.
Right.
You can never remix an original.
You can't.
Can't.
But I'm so thankful because I go out there in the world and guys come to me, hey man, da-da-da-da. Their kids may not know and they say, hey, well, look him up. But he's the first one to go between the legs. He's the first one to do that. And they'll give him a quick history lesson of that. And I'm thankful and I'm appreciative, So I think the evolution of the dunk is tremendous. They still doing it to KG. Like, you got to win the dunk contest now between the legs. I mean, they're doing other stuff. It's still coming back to between the legs is, that East Bay funk is in your arsenal somewhere. And I love it, man, to be a young kid just putting in some work, freaking it like that, and then, for it to get to this level. Dominique got his dunk, Jordan got his dunk, Doc got his dunk, Vince got his dunk, you know what I mean?
That's dope.
So, it's a good part of history, man, and it's
that's
humbling.
Great. That's great perspective too, man. I never looked at it like that. You got your own shit too. When you watch the dunk contest, first off, I think the NBA should take all the dunk contest winners and have them be judges.
I agree.
You've earned that right. A lot of motherfuckers been in this. A lot of people. Bron didn't even get in the dunk contest. You know what I'm saying? Like
ever.
So when you say Shawn Kemp being a game dunker, like when you sit here and you hear that, you're like, holy shit. I think he falls into that same category. He's not definitely a creative dunker, meaning like come up here, idealistic, hang in the air.
Yeah.
But in the games where it's on the line and it looks beautiful in the game flow, but when it comes out here to being creative and you gotta actually make it an art or you gotta actually execute A, B, and C, it's a whole nother competition.
That's probably why he never jumped in it.
Smart though.
Smart.
That's smart. You hate it because in his form of where he's supposed to go, just like Zion. Zion looks like he's not gonna get in the dunk contest. And the reason why we love Zion, one of the big reasons, is because he can dunk like a motherfucker.
Like shit.
Is it bad if Zion, LeBron don't get into the dunk contest?
My thing is, what's the mentality, man? Our mentality coming up was like, when we jumping in, and we don't care who's in it. We want all the smoke.
I think too.
We want all the beef. Like, let's go. Like, what are we doing here? Like, so when I seen when guys wasn't jumping in it, I'm like, what are they doing? Like, like, are they too cool? You don't want to lose. You want to take a L, and is it like branding that important that you can never take a L? You know what I mean? So I didn't understand it, but I do understand that LeBron is more of a game dunker than a show dunker.
Right.
So there are different dunkers. You know what I mean? Not saying that he couldn't do well in the dunk contest, but he didn't get in it for a reason. Maybe he knew somebody else had a couple more. That's life. You can look down the line and be like, oh yeah, he be freaking it. I don't want it. It might be close.
I can say this too. The dunk contest for a person that didn't have no notoriety used to mean everything. You remember Kenny Walker?
Put your name on the map.
Put your name in the map, gives you brand recognition. People know you not just as a basketball player or a small forward or a big forward. You actually was Kenny Skywalker, the guy who actually won the dunk contest and played for the Knicks and was a light-skinned kid. You had this kind of hair. You look like Al B. Short.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can go down this whole little list, right?
It
puts you on the map.
The ball and
push you on the map. It's for branding. I think these kids come in so hyped or so already branded that they don't look at
it's no big deal.
Hey, man.
So when you mention Zion,
that's what
potentially not doing it, whether he's not healthy or he is healthy, I looked at him as like, oh, that's that big boy that be dunking crazy.
Crazy.
So you would want to see him in the dunk contest, and all it's going to do is catapult your branding, your marketing, your name, your notoriety, wherever you're trying to go. It's an asset. It's not something that's going to devalue you.
It's mindset, though. Mindset. It's just like you said. I think the mindset of these kids is not as, I ain't gonna say competitive, because no one likes to lose. I don't give a fuck what they talking about.
Yeah.
But when you get into the art of the dunk contest itself, that is an art. Everybody in this room who can dunk, we can all put this rim down to 9 feet. And you can probably go up here and grab the rim 2 hands and you can hold it. The minute we start saying dunk contest, where you gotta take the ball, put it between your legs, around your back, you gotta turn 3. I don't give a fuck what kind of dunk you do. It changes your whole aerodynamic.
Changes your shit.
Your whole shit go out the, you'd be like, you know what, I thought I can, I grabbed the rim 2 hands, I just can't turn around in 360, or I can't, so that's the appreciation of the dunk contest. That's what I'm saying. And those executing, with you in the crowd with 40, 50,000, everybody on you. The moment is yours. Go. Here you go.
All eyes on you.
There you go. Let's see what you got. Oh, man.
And some people,
that's not built for everybody.
Some people fold.
Listen.
Some people get nervous.
Them motherfuckers are shaking.
Some people shake.
Them motherfuckers heartbeat.
Some people might say, oh, it's such over there. He got hops.
I'm good.
I don't want to lose.
I'm good. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. Straight up. So I understand what that moment is. And it's not an easy moment.
It's not. It's all eyes on you. But man, I remember back to me. I'm just go back to me. I was like, they let us pick our music. So I was like, I'm bobbing. I'm like, I know it's gonna start soon. You know what I'm talking?
And what would you come out to?
So more bounce to the ounce, right? They didn't want it. They were so funny with the selection. They didn't want certain things. So I just went old school. You know what I mean? Because I had something else. But so I'm like, turn on the music. Music started going. Oh, that's when I broke into the little dance before I took a couple steps back.
If I can remember.
Saw Brandy, Latifah, and nice ladies, and
if I can remember, dog, you look like you freestyle. Like, you know what? You just threw it up and you threw it.
I didn't know what I was gonna do. I'm like, turn on that music, man. What's happening? Okay, there it goes. Let's go.
I was like, yo, he on. And you look like you was in the zone. And bro, that's probably one of my favorites, because you was talking that shit and then you backed it up.
I was talking a little shit, I was backing it up, man.
And all the old heads looking at you like, oh,
hey, backstory though. Check out the backstory. So you got Dikembe before the contest.
Oh yeah.
JR. I have 20,000 on you. You better win. I said 20,000. Damn. He said, yeah, 20,000. I know you're gonna win. You better win. He said, your boy GP must not be too confident in you. I said, what do you mean? He got Sean Kemp. I was like, oh, okay. My hometown got Sean Kemp, okay.
No.
But I said, but you know what? They on the same team, man. You know what I mean? I get it. But a part of me was like, yeah, all right, GP. All right, okay. So they betting.
Everybody's betting.
There's a few cats betting. So I'm like, okay. Kimby come tell me that, so I'm like, okay, it's really on now. Let's go. I see Sean he ain't the normal Sean, man. That's all I'm gonna say. He just he was thinking about his stuff. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I knew I was gonna do this, that, and the other, but I didn't know what I was gonna do. If I was really prepared, I would have came with my women. That's why I had a little pride. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was freestyling for real. Like, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I know I wasn't gonna go between the legs at a certain time. But they bet, and I'm like, okay. So, when I go between the legs, when I do this, KG,
fuck all,
yeah, pull them out your everybody right there. So I'm looking at those that was against me like,
I remember that scene, did that shit slow, so I remember that.
Nah, it was a good moment, man. It was, so it's hype, man. It catapulted me, because I was the first guard taken after Penny. And in my mind, I was like, man, I could rock with Penny, I rock with whoever, you know what I mean? Like, what is this? You know what I mean? And me and Penny had went at it, you know what I mean? And like, Rookie of the Year, I was kind of like in the lead. We were all 16 and 15, me, Weber, and Penny. You know what I mean? Like, I was on one because I didn't start coming into Minnesota. I love Fresh, love my boy Doug West, but I didn't start. I felt like, man, you know what I mean? Like, what is this? Right. You know what I mean? Like, it was something in my contract. I missed training camp. I was waiting for an option. You know what I mean? I got screwed on my option. My option was like 5, 6 years out, but I should have waited. I didn't wait. I wanted to play so bad. I'm like, man, I'll just go play, man. Forget waiting. As I went to the camp, played, I'm hooping. You know what I mean? I didn't start my first several games. Right. But as a starter, I averaged 20 per. Right. You know what I mean? But because I had to catch up, I ended up averaging about 16 at the end. I mean, wherever about 17, Penny about 15 something. Wow. Well, as a starter, I might have got Rookie of the Year. I was in the runnings. So, but anyway, before that, I'm thinking, man, I'm hungry. You know, I'm hungry as a player, like how Kobe felt probably. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, man, put me in the game. Right. You know what I mean? So, dunk contest was my way, like you just said, put my name on a map, how you get on the map. In our day, we thought, how can we get on the map? I don't give a shooting threes, the dunk contest, you know what I mean, all-star game, the rookie game. You got to get on the map. Right. The competitive spirit, the competitive juices. You know what I mean? We was taught, like, when we had a camp, we had whatever, we playing, we gonna guard the best man. Right. Whoever ranked such and such, I want to guard him. Right. You know what I mean? Jim Jackson was the man when we was at Nike camp and younger, this, that, and the other. Now we in the pro, you know what I mean? Like, all them dudes, the New York dudes, New Jersey dudes, the Jim Jacksons, let me guard you. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. You got to, like, you know what I mean? I want to go at you because they think you guys like that, right? You go take somebody like that, Hart, and now you that guy. You know what I mean? So I was hungry my rookie season, so I was like in war mode. You know what I mean? Even that was like, I'm one of them guys. Y'all see me coming. You know what I mean? By the time I get to Minnesota, man, you're already an established presence on the team. You're probably one of the more better underground two guards in the league. When you actually talk about Mitch Richmond, now that I'm sitting here thinking about your whole game, bro, you played like those big two guards. Back in the day, I'm gonna give everybody some history here. Mike Jordan, before he comes out of this realm of, he's the OG to everybody. When he was younger, he was more quick, fast, and athletic than everybody. And then it came a point where the two guard, at least at this time, the younger generation, and I'm saying everything that's younger than Jordan, came in, and these two guards were bigger. And when I mean bigger, I mean thicker. Like, they could post you up. Before two guards were shooters, they was coming off, they was more like Drazen Petrovic. They was, you would think more fluidly. Reggie Millers and more, you had Dale Curry, Dale Ellis, Ricky Pierce, and I'm naming shooters and two guards here. Starks and all that shit. Yeah. Once Jordan came in and started posting up, it felt like the shift of the two guard changed. And now your two guard is posting up. Your two guard now will dunk on you. Your two guard now is a mid-range fanatic. It almost felt like for like 2 or 3 years, your two guard was probably your more important player just because Jordan's impact. Then here come Clyde. Then here come a host of not even two guards. It was like the Gerald Rice, the Grant Hills. Everybody's getting caught in the 2-3 kind of because now you're big enough to not just guard a two, but you can guard a 3 too. You know what I'm saying? Until you went up into guys like Jerome Kersey, who had 6'9", that whole little formula worked. Yeah. I'm talking about when did you? Because I came in and I started watching you post up guys like Eddie Jones. I used to love to watch you and Eddie Jones go at it because you used to really dominate that matchup. And you'd be very verbal about that matchup. And as a young kid, I would sit back every night watching you go against some of these best so-called next generation talents. And you was that. Talk about that confidence, man, and where you get that from. And being at the two guard. Mitch Richmond, when you mentioned, you led it with Mitch. He was a big guard, about 225. That's big for a two guard. At UNLV, I'm 220. Damn. Right? 6'5", 6'5", 220, super bouncy, super athletic. Super quick, too. Super aggressive, super quick. Yeah. And I had a football mentality. I say that to say, if I'm 220 and you 180, I ain't just gonna shoot jumpers on you all day, 23-footer, 22-footers. Take your ass in the paint. I'm gonna bully your ass. I'm gonna whoop you. You know what I mean? And I got this 3. And I got this blow by. Don't play.
And you were dunking on your big.
I'm gonna dunk on you though. I'm gonna go, but I ain't worried about you.
Facts.
I'm gonna serve you. I'm just as fast as you, but I'm 20 pounds heavy. So my mentality was like that. Mitch Richmond was a big guard. I wanted to play like Mitch Richmond. I studied Mitch Richmond because after he picked me up and we playing and da-da-da, I studied him. And everybody wanted to be like Mike. So all my jab steps, all my footwork, all my, you know, how I get my triple threat, all I can shoot, all that is Mike.
Oh, wow.
All that big boy shit, that's Mitch. Wow. Mike was posting too, quick. So my fadeaways, and people sleep on my fadeaways because I was fading away before Kobe and a lot of people came in the league. So, you know, I'm gonna figure it out, but I'm gonna put my fadeaways just on tape. And I didn't have to develop it. I had it since day one.
Wow.
I faded away. I'm gonna get to that, but when you came, you told me something, I'm gonna get back to the point, but you told me something as a rookie. I want tip dunks, I want lobs, I'm gonna block nigga shit off the glass, I'm gonna alley-oop, hit me in the lane, and I'm good.
That's it. Because that's what I was strong
And I
at.
was like, what? I had never heard nobody talk like you before or say that. And I was already on you from the first, I think your third shot. You shot, had it way up, crossed over, you was slinky. I was like, oh yeah, you gonna be nice. I don't know if you remember, I said, ain't nobody in the league gonna be able to block your shot. Watch. You hadn't even played a game yet.
We came into the gym one day and they put the floor down. It's my first, if not second day in Minnesota. I get introduced, I hurt my ankle, so they had to tape my joint. I come in and I'm in the target center by myself, shooting around, me and my homeboy. And then Jay Ryder came in, he didn't say nothing. He just snuck up behind me. I was like, oh shit, we hugged. And right then and there, we spoke for about 2 hours on the court. And he fucking with me. Man, let me see the one dribble. So he talking about league shit, y'all. One dribble pull up, two dribble pull ups, pass out the corner, all this shit, pump fake. All this is league shit. You go on the playground, ain't nobody telling you to do no one dribble pull up. Ain't nobody telling you, let me see your left hand. Ain't none of that shit, right? So he wanted to see if I was, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just, you know, showing whatever. And he was watching me, and he was like, on some real West Coast shit, just how he did it. He was like, right. When Jay was watching, he was processing, he was like, right. You right. Okay, I see you, right. And I was like, this nigga Oakland till he died. Because I knew West Coast, right? I had played with a bunch of West Coast.
Yes.
I was like, oh yeah, he's super Oakland. And that was our connection, man.
Connection right from the jump. And I already knew what I had because I knew what I was working with and I knew what I had. And I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna ask you a question in a second, later. But I knew what I had. I knew what you were. I mean, I couldn't see the whole picture, but I was like, this kid has a package, has a shot, he can dribble, he can handle, and he's intense.
I just need to learn it.
You know what I mean? I was like, man, it's about to be on. You know what I mean? Because I was getting double teamed and everything already ever since my rookie season. So when you told me that, I'm like, nah, I need you to shoot, go get your money. I'm getting double teamed. Go get you 15 and, you know what I mean, 8 or whatever you got to do. But, you know, I was thrown back. I was thrown away. Back to the point of 2 guards. So I came in the league and I was like, okay, I played center in high school. So I posted, I did everything, but I was used to the post. Always had footwork. Playing 6'7", 6'8", I always knew how to create, jump hook, fade away. I always knew how to get my shit off, right? At UNLV, my senior year, I come back my senior year. Tark leaves my junior year, everybody's gone. They just left us, right? Everybody's gone. Lack of communication and everything, but I'm like there. So I come back my senior year. I didn't want to go in the league. I would have been like kind of a mid to late first rounder projected. I was like, nah, I'd rather stay. I want to go lotto. So I stayed. I come back.
Dope year, by the way, too. I watched that whole year. You killed it.
I was killing that year.
Killing. You was killing. Your senior year in college, boy, you was the best player in college, hands down.
Jay Wright, to this day, it's like I tell all my seniors, I send them your stats, I talk about them, I talk about your senior year. You know, 39 and 5, I think, over 50% from twos, over 40% from threes. I was killing, but all our bigs left. So every grade 6'8", I'm 6'5", Dexter Boney's 6'4", we 6'3" and 6'1".
Damn, that's our front line?
That's our front line. That's our starting 5. My senior year at UNLV, I'm playing the 4. I'm guarding the 4. Wow. So the Roziers, whoever, I'm guarding the big boys, whatever. So they got to guard me too. So I'm like, I never thought like, fuck, I'm out of position. You know how nowadays these kids, all these parents, these kids, I want my son to play 1. If he's not a 1, I got my own program. They be switching and twitching and changing. I want my son to be featured. You know what I mean? Other kids all around the city, you know what I mean? If my son's not featured, anyway. I'm playing the 4, but I'm not thinking like, damn, senior year, I'm playing the big. I'm like, let's get it. We 28-2 the year before. We couldn't go to the dance because we on probation at UNLV. So the next year, I'm like, man, let's get it. So we playing. A 4-man, how you gonna guard me? A 3-man, I'm a little too fast for you.
2 too small.
A 1 and a 2, you're too small. So I don't care. Whoever we played against, they put a 2 through a 4 on me. I'm running through teams. Wow. Killing. Wow. So, but in offense, you have to have sets, right? So I have to start at the 4. Then whatever happens.
Are you playing the 4 in the offense too? Playing the 4 in the offense too?
We ran and we was just let it go.
Facts.
I shot 3, I did everything. Facts. But if it's crunch time and it sets, I might start at the elbow or box. Gotcha. And whatever we screen for and whatever we do.
Gotcha.
Because, right? My back's to the basket again sometimes a little bit. The year before, my junior year, my back was never to the basket.
Faced it, okay.
I had Elmore Spencer, I had Melvin, 7 feet, 6'10", 6'11",
so you
and we 6'4", 6'5" on the wings. Now I'm back to the basket at times. And I didn't have a problem with it because I like to get my money from there. But now I'm back there after not being there the year before. So boom, the next year NBA comes, right? So I'm looking at the 2 guards like, y'all 190, y'all 195, y'all 205, y'all 207.
Yeah.
Y'all can't fuck with me. I'm just keeping 100. Y'all can't fuck with me.
Hands down. And that's the whole league.
I'm talking about the whole league.
Fucking right.
So I'm looking
Clyde
at
Drexler,
every 2 guards. I got traded to Portland because I used to kill Clyde Drexler. You know the league. You get traded, you probably was doing some work on them fools, unless they just send you. So I'm serving Clyde. Jim Jackson is in Dallas.
Yeah.
We going at it because Jim was nice back then.
And y'all was both young.
We both strong, big, same size.
220,
we going at it. I got
15.
Exactly. I got the little better of him, but Jim got me too. So we going at it, right? After about the 3rd season, he couldn't see me no more, but we going at it. Spreewell, I have my career highs against Spreewell. I know you wanted to playing with him, and I'm gonna tell you a story. I don't know if you know. They hit me, hit me, and was like, hey, would you mind coming back to Minnesota? What do you even think about that? I'm like, man, no problem, I would love it. They didn't know if I would want to come or not.
What year is this?
Right before y'all signed Spree.
Oh, shit.
So they hit me, I'm like, man, I definitely would come.
03, 04?
I definitely would come. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, we'll hit you back. What? They never hit me back, and they hit Spree and went with Spree.
Oh, shit.
But we had about 3 conversations, and I thought it was gonna happen. So Spree, I got my career highs against Spree. He in Oakland and Golden State. Some of my boys rock with him. One of my boys asked me, what's up with Spree? He a dog, man, what you gonna do? Pissed me off. So me and Spree had basketball, not talking, we didn't talk, but I was on him. I was killing Spree. I'm just talking about the West Coast. So I think after Jim Jackson, Finley came. Going at Finley. I think Rex and Jason was in Phoenix. They can't see me. Now I'm, who else on the West Coast? I can't think. Mitch is my mentor, so me and Mitch is butting heads.
Eddie Jones.
Me and Mitch butting heads. Eddie Jones, because of Shaq, we had a beef. He didn't even, me and Eddie never had no stuff. Like, he didn't do nothing personally to me. He had a good play on me. We was on the same team back then, as a matter of fact. He had a good play on me.
Right.
No, we weren't. And Shaq juiced it up, pumped it up, and he bit. I said, all right, motherfucker, it's on. And ever since then, I've been at his helmet. So I was killing Eddie Jones. I can't think who else is on the West Coast right now. But in my mind state, I'm like, I'm not an all-star. I'm not an all-star, huh?
Yeah, that's how you was looking at it.
So I got 40, 40, 41, 42 against Spree, huh? Okay. Clyde, okay. I understand Mitch and Clyde, well, Mitch deserved it, Clyde, borderline, but that's the names. But you letting Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, and Kobe in. Finley, whoever else, I can't even think right now. There's a few more on the West Coast. They're in the All-Star game, but they can't see me, bro.
Wow.
I'm killing them in my matchups.
Wow.
So my only way, as a competitor and as a killer, the league is not acknowledging me? I'm gonna kill every motherfucker two guard in front of me. And I'm gonna talk about it. So when Eddie, when we use how it's verbal, motherfucker, you can't fuck with me. You can't see me. You ain't. It wasn't nothing he did personal.
I remember that.
But I took that shit serious. Because I wanted to be an all-star. I felt like my numbers since day one. I mean, my first 3 seasons, they was all-star. Other people getting in, averaging 17, I'm averaging 21, 20. I understand. Then I started understanding the markets in Minnesota, da-da-da. But then I didn't say that. I was like, fuck that. KG killing, he got in.
Facts.
I'm like, I'm killing these twos.
Facts.
It's a conspiracy. Okay, every time I see a so-called all-star, I'm just gonna go to work. So I ain't trying to talk about none of you cats or whatever, and y'all might feel, you know, we went at it. I know that nobody in the league for a minute, for about 5 or 6 years, could see me besides Mike, Mitch, and that's it.
Talk about...
I say that with pride and confidence.
No bullshit.
I do.
That's
and
facts,
I know
though.
I had to guard Reggie Miller's, the Allen Houston's, the blah, blah, blah. Me and Penny went at me and Penny went at it.
No doubt.
Blow for blow.
No doubt.
He give me 24 and a half, I come back, fuck that, give him 25 and a half. You know what I mean? And we went at it. I ain't saying that to say I just killed everything moving, but I won my matchups. You know what I mean? And that's what I teach my son and other kids. Win your matchup.
Facts.
Win your battles.
Facts.
It's not one-on-one, it is team. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? If he's an all-star, go kill him. That's how you be an all-star. That's how you get an all-pro. Right. So my mentality was that, bro. So that two guard, I took it like I'm heavier than them dudes. I'm bigger than them dudes. I'm jumping higher than all of them besides Mike. And let's get it. You know what I mean? And I kind of had that Kobe mentality. You know how Kobe was sitting over there hungry for them 3 years? Right. Like, fuck that. I used to see Kobe over there like...
Man, pissed.
Legs moving and pissed, wanting to get in the game, man.
Talk about that, man. I knew you went to LA. A lot of people don't know you got a ring, man. A lot of people don't know you was on that championship ring. You know that?
True.
Talk about not only playing with Kobe, but playing for Phil.
Okay. Kobe, I respect Kobe to the fullest. Rest in peace to King.
Yo.
I mean, to Kobe, man. He was a young kid that wasn't getting no run and was seeing me and Eddie go at it. I got the better of Eddie of those years, and I'm sure Kobe was over there like, let me at him, coach. You know what I mean? Like, let me at him.
And he wants to see where he at, too. I can honestly say this.
I learned Kobe.
Lord wanted to actually measure himself against people that he actually admired.
I didn't know that until I played for the Lakers.
Yeah, he probably broke you down right there like, yeah, you like to da-da-da-da-da, and then, you know what I'm saying?
He's an animal.
Now, he's watching at all times, though, too. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, thinker, cerebral. Yeah, he's a thinker watching and trying to compare and see.
I heard you tell a story once when he met up and he had some,
It was, you know, I didn't, you know, yeah, he was a cold dude.
Caught you a little later, too, Jay. He caught you a little later, too.
Well, he called me first day, too. The very first day of training camp. And I didn't know it was like that until later. And then I started rolling on my sleeves. And I had to tell him, man, when I get in shape, let's run that. Because I understood what I'll set that up. But Kobe was a monster. He was sitting. And when he got his chance, he got his chance. Me and Bonzi was at Portland when he got his chance. No, Bonzi, they might not have, Bonzi was still sitting. Bonzi was still sitting. So Kobe was kind of just coming. A little wild, you know, a little moving fast, a little too fast for what he was trying to do. But I was like, I don't think I ever seen a little young cat like that with that much, he gonna be nice.
He figured it out, right?
He's gonna be nice. So in my mind, I already knew he gonna be real, real good. But I was already in like, okay, you subbing for Eddie, you come get some too. You know what I mean? Like, so I was already in like, kind of like big boy mode, right? You know, with him, so, you know, yeah, that's how he respected that. He knew that.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? I was a big boy to him when he first started.
And well respected.
Now I'm with the Lakers. Kobe is Kobe now, though. You know, he's been doing his thing. After practice, Kobe says, I'm talking to Shaq and B. Shaw. He says, man, J-Rod, you know, let me get this one-on-one. I'm not really tripping.
He came right up to you?
Right up to me. I'm old school, so my training camps and preseason, I used to get in game shape. I've been jet skiing, I've been on my surfboard, I've been chilling, man. I'm not in true game shape. I'm in go mode, and I'm not overweight. I'm in go mode, but I'm not in game shape.
Right.
He says, let's get that. He's like, Jay, let me get that one-on-one. I'm like, hold on one second, man.
Rain check.
No, I said, hold on. No, I didn't even say. He said, Jay, let me get that one. I'm like, not right now, man. You know, da-da-da. And I finished talking to Shaq and Kobe. I'm talking. I ain't even really tripping. Register on like some hoop, like war shit.
Right.
I'm fresh with the Lakers, a new scene. It's lights and cameras, and it's a little bit glittery around here. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to fit in. But I'm talking to my boys because Shaq called me. I was supposed to sign with Miami. Eddie Jones went and got the money I was supposed to get. Again, it happened. But anyway, I was supposed to sign with Miami, so here comes Shaq and Kobe calling me, come to the Lakers. That's how I ended up there. So I'm like, hold on, da-da-da, and I turn around and talk. So about 5 seconds later, he's like, okay, just let me know when you want to get that one-on-one or when I can get that one-on-one. So I immediately walk to the court. Now I'm like, you got me fucked up. Like, let's go. We go to the court and we get it in. And he do his thing. And I'm like, I didn't really feel no way. Right. Like, honestly, like a basketball way. But that night it registered what kind of happened. After my very first practice with the Lakers. When you say measuring, see where he at. So that night, I'm like, what was that about? Okay. And after the game, I said, when I get in shape, we're gonna run that. And B. Shaw like, yeah, you know, so anyway, so I registered that night, like, what was that about? Okay, he probably trying to see where he at. Because I'm a big boy, I've been a big dog, you know, he's a big dog now, but I've been kind of like a big dog, and he kind of wanted to see where he at. I'm like, caught me slipping. Okay, all right. So we went so that next day in practice, he tells Phil Jackson, I don't want nobody to guard me except for JR. Not Rick, not Devin, not Harp, not B. Shaw. He wanted that action, me and him. Wanted to get better. Want only the best to guard him. He don't want nobody smiling and giggling and not moving laterally like that. He wants to smoke. So we went at it every day. Damn. And there was days he made me come out the long sleeve. All right.
Ooh.
Phil, you ain't calling nothing?
The Sky Rider.
I'm gonna start being real physical with this guy. Not in a dirty way, just...
No. Action.
Let's get it.
Action.
So we went at it, and I was like, yeah, young boy, you know, he right. So, it registered, he wanted to measure and see where he was at. He probably wanted to let everybody know in the house, I'm the big dog still.
Super competitive.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And we went at it. And he leaned on me like, I rock with you. You know what I mean? There was times that Kobe shot it a lot and didn't pass a lot, and It was times I'd come to him like, Cole, man, give me the rock, man. You know what I do, man. I ain't just out here. You know what I mean? Don't do me like that. Don't do me like these dudes, bro. You know what I mean? I got you, J-Rod. I got you, J-Rod. And he rocked with me, you know what I mean? So shouts out to Cole, but he was very competitive and awesome, and obviously got to where he got with the drive he had, with the notion of, I want to play against the best, to be the best, and he surpassed everybody, and peace to him. Phil Jackson, so I get over there, I get with Phil. I get there and I'm just going with the flow, and Phil is Phil, he has a style, and cool, laid back, whatever. I think I started, then I'm coming off the bench, and then eventually I'm getting decent minutes, and eventually my minutes are declining. And I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? I'm like, what did I do? I should have went to Miami. I'm like, this is the worst decision ever. You know what I mean? But we're winning, and I'm not an unhappy camper, like not at all. I'm going with the flow, you know what I mean? I'm here, it's lights, camera, action. Right. Wish I had more time, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make the best of it. Then during the season, he's just talking, da, 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 da. And one day he says, yeah, you guys have a good day. Hopefully we don't see JR, hopefully I don't hear about JR being over on Crenshaw. I said, what you say?
He shot that?
He shot
like out of a meeting?
The whole team.
Trying to be funny, ha, ha, ha?
Yeah, he shot that. I said, what you say? And people giggling. I said, I don't think none of that's funny. I said, I don't have a problem getting my hair cut, getting Earl's dog, or getting my hair cut on Crenshaw, and then sliding out. I said, but nobody in their right mind just hangs out on Crenshaw, brother. Right. I said, brother, you know what I mean? And I don't have a problem being around my people and my folks and spending money in the neighborhood or the ghetto at barbecue joints, fish joints, or whatever. So I don't really, like, where's that? Oh, no big deal, da-da-da. And that's cool. But from that moment, I always looked at him different. Oh, wow. Just like you did LeBron with that posse stuff and that. Just certain stuff people say I pay attention to. What you really trying to say? What you saying? You're trying to come cool, zen, you lay back, you're passing out books, we're doing yoga, you're on some cool stuff, you cross your legs, you're trying to be this cerebral, intelligent dude, which you probably are. But he seemed like an old head that took shots to me and was on some other stuff and too big for his britches out there. On the bench, on the beaches with old girl, the owner, and I felt he was just too, right? And I felt I put in too much work for you to have me in a funky situation. You know what I mean? Like, even the year before I'm in Atlanta, I was top 10 in scoring for a minute. And then even when it went all funny, I'm still averaging like 19, 20, right? So I'm here for a reason. And that same season, we beat them once. I give Cole some of that work. You know what I mean? I'm here for a reason, bro. Facts. You know what against you see me against Mike.
Facts. That part.
Mike averaged 30 in 6 games. I averaged 24.
Facts.
Head to head. He get 10 more shots a game. You know what I do. Why you doing me like this? In my own head. So, the Laker fans, Ryder, they want me in the game. I'm trying to be the best professional I can. I'm just, I'm trying to do what I can. I'm not disgruntled, but I'm a little puzzled. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? So I get left off the roster at the end of going into the playoffs. He leaves the roster. He lives whoever. Go read the wall. The roster for the playoffs on the wall. I go to the wall. I don't see my name. I said, my eyes must be playing tricks on me. I don't see my name. I spin off. I'm looking mad Shaq like, what's up? I'm like, man, your boy done left me off the roster. Now mind you, me and Phil never had no argument. It was no public, nothing in the paper. We never had no stuff.
But you felt it.
You know what I mean?
You felt it?
No, I mean, I felt it was a disconnect, somewhere during the season where, put it like, then I internalized it. They've won the year before. They have their squad. I'm another guy.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And that's how he's comfortable with who he's comfortable with.
He has a form.
Bishaw, Harp, and they had good. They played well. They were playing well.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And so I internalized it and said, let me do the best I can as a professional. But anyway, he left me off the roster, and Shaq was like, "What's up with that, bro?" I'm like, "Man, I don't know, man." He's like, "What do you mean you're not on the roster?" He's like, "Phil." Phil just kind of kept on moving, and I went to practice, and I was like, "Wow." You know, and I went through the motion, and they won it. I got a ring. I was a part. I played regular season, but didn't play in the playoffs. So that was pretty tough. You know, that was another time they won it in Philly, and I kind of went to a back room. We was cheering, champagne, all of that, and I had to slide and go to a back room and pray on it, and kind of like, man, I don't know. You know what I mean? Just get away. So I seen Phil and the coaching staff. They smoke cigars, doing their thing, and I go to a little private area and have my little moment. Then snap out of it and join the crew. That was my championship, you know what I mean? But, you know, things happen for a reason. But yeah, that's how that went. That one was tough, man. It's still tough to talk about.
When you talking with your son, or you talking to your boys, what's probably what's the one thing that you always find yourself repeating or being able to tell them? I'm sure they got plenty of questions for you. What's one of the one things you find yourself coming back to, repeating yourself over and over about your experiences in the league? What you think it's all about at the end of the day?
League talk. Well, I give them more life talks.
That's real.
Experiences, good and bad, from me, and what we see from others, right? What we learn from the experiences, from life lessons that we get from the world.
Right.
But I talk to my son about professionalism, being on time, being accountable, and living in the moment. If it's big, if you happen to be blessed to make it to the NBA, understand where you are in that moment.
Right.
Understand how huge it is, how big the platform is. Right. Understand how you have to hold on to that, cherish that, grow that, keep that. You know, expand in it and live in it so you can keep it, because nothing is promised. So, hard work, dedication.
Facts.
Know your craft, study your craft, watch games. You know what I mean? I tell them so many things, but it's to the point where if you love this thing, you got to study players.
Yeah.
You gotta add moves to your roster.
Become it.
Right? You have to
Become
not just play in a tournament and say, hey, it's just another tournament, it's just another game.
No.
Every game is the game. Play like it's your last.
Right.
You want to be the best? You have to go at this craft in a different way. You got to take care of your body. You got to go to sleep. Right. There's people playing in Africa, Europe, Asia, America, all over. How do you separate yourself? It's holdbacks, it's double holdbacks, it's this, it's that, it's politics, it's so much going on. How do you separate yourself? Do you really want this? If you really want it, then nothing is given to you. Right. Because I'm your dad, or because I'm your coach, or because I'm your mentor, nothing is given to you. Nobody's gonna give you anything just because of your association or who you know. You have to go earn that. You got to go get it. So, I try to tell my son that, it's a short window too. You think it's not. You don't have forever.
Facts.
So be the best you can be if this is what you want to do, but understand that basketball is elite, especially now. It's so much basketball, so many players. You have to be elite. You have to be special.
So all your kids play? All of them play ball?
So,
matter of fact, let me ask you this. What sports do your kids play?
So, my son, he played baseball initially, and then it's been all hoop, unfortunately, KG. But we're going to get back to football.
Fuck all that. I'm with
and
that.
basketball. At least flag football. I want him to do something else. But basketball is his thing. and we've chose to go for it.
That's
That's my 12-year-old. I have a 20-year-old. He plays basketball, but he's more into school. He goes to a D2 in Miami.
Okay.
He's more into finance and business, and that's where his deal is at. He has a partial basketball scholarship and a financial scholarship. So I root for him. I root him on. He's a great kid. Big boy, about 6'7".
Okay.
Good kid, man. So he's doing that, going to school, doing well. And then I have a little one. So, but my 12-year-old is serious about basketball, and we travel, we train, and he has a select team he's on. Then he has our personal program team that he's on. He's highly ranked on the West Coast, I think top 5, maybe top 15 or so in the nation. He's 12, and nowadays those 7th graders are a little older than that. And so he playing with big boys. He like the baby, and I thought it was gonna be his age, so he the baby. So, he's hanging though. He's doing what he's got to do. But when the time is right, I might have to reclass him. But right now, maybe not. Who cares about that? I'm like, hey man, you go in there with the big boys. When you was 19, you had to play against grown-ass men.
And it made you better.
Make you better.
Look at Luka. Luka been playing since he was 14.
What you think about Luka?
I love Luka. I love Luka's pace. I love Luka's maturity. You see his maturity. You see how he's been playing with older men or older people in this life. You see it. He's not afraid of anything in the league. He goes at some of the best defenders the same way and makes them look like they're not that great of defenders. He has a pace. You can't speed him up. And he's figured out the league. I heard Larry Bird come in. I heard Larry Bird say, I heard a old school take on Larry Bird, and it was something he said when he was a rookie, and they replayed it with all the social stuff that you can get. Forgotten Season, shout to them, all the outlets that got the dope joint that play stuff back. But he said something that made me think of Luka. Larry Bird said, man, not only did I think I could play in this league, I knew I could dominate. Off of just my past and what I've been through. They went to college, getting double, triple teamed and shit. He got in the league. They was playing one-on-one with him. So he was thinking, when I watch Luka play, he comes from that experience. It comes from an experienced background. He looks so polished. When you watch today's game, who you like watching?
I like Beasley, Luka.
Beasley from?
Wizards.
Beasley. What am I going blank on Beasley?
What's his first name?
Beasley? Two guard. Oh, you talking about Bill? Bill. Bradley Bill.
My bad.
Gotcha.
Bill.
I'm about to say Beasley from Utah?
Bill.
Yeah, Bill can score the ball. Probably one of the best one-on-one players in the league.
Yeah, I like the way he get down.
St. Louis kid.
Just run a list. Okay.
Just a couple guys.
I like Bill. Just a couple. Bill, Luka, Steph, KD, Kyrie. I really like Paul George and Kawhi, but I say Luka because I seen Luka take their heart. I don't know if he took their heart, but he took a part of it.
All right.
Anyway, so and I like them too.
Right. Anybody remind you of yourself?
Okay, Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Many. Yep.
Meaning people say I compare his game to you. I don't compare our games. Like we got a different game, but we're similar in some certain ways. But I like the young boy. I like Ja Morant. I think he need to work on his mid-range, his perimeter, and really get it real tight. So he don't take so many hits, so many falls, and everything can't be over the top. They're gonna catch up to that.
Yeah, learning how to fall. AI didn't learn how to fall. AI didn't. Like one of the things I watched, man, with some of the younger guys like Chris Paul, even Kyrie, Rondo, small guys start learning how to go in there and finish and then learn how to fall.
Yeah.
Them falls, people don't understand, dog. You fall 15 times a night, dog, you're gonna feel that in your body first.
Jerome Kersey,
you know what I'm saying?
Hit me hard from one time. I said, okay.
Let me ask you this, man, and we can wrap it up. With your AAU, do you feel like for guys like Mitch, Hook, and all the guys that kind of watched after you and was there for you, double back, gave you a little more attention. Do you feel like this is not an obligation, but do you feel like this is your place to be able to put younger players that you can help in better positions and also sharing that knowledge and stuff that you went through? Do you feel like an obligation to your AAU team or to this whole?
It's part of my spirit. It's part of my spirit, spirituality, my heart. You know, a part of my being, part of my DNA and makeup.
Yeah, you're a giving person.
From Mitch doing it to me, from my mom instilling it in us, and Dad instilling us young. I felt as if Mitch paid it forward. You know, a lot of people pay it forward. Even with Hook and B Ward living with me at UNLV my senior year, coming to pick me up 14, 15, 16, me, taking me to hoop, give me something to eat, just get me in a frame of mind, in a hoop frame of mind as to trying to succeed, go get a D1 scholarship. When they needed a place to live my senior year and they asked, hey, I want to get out of Oakland, man. I want to change my life. B Ward was like, man, somebody just shot at me, man. I don't want to, man, Oakland crazy, man. Let me get up out of here, man. Can I come live in Vegas with you? And Hook wanted to do the same thing. He wanted to get off drugs. He wanted to change his life. He wanted to do things differently. I didn't even think twice. Like, let's go, come out here, man, get away from Oakland. You know?
Real.
That's just my DNA, my spirit. I ran about a coach and they were fine with it. You know, some guys may be around and one of them he may not look like a student and he may have some issues physically and this, that, and the other with appearance, but I love him and he's a good dude and he's solid. He's not gonna do nothing in the community and I wanna be there for him. I wanna change his life. No problem, Raleigh Massimino. Appreciate you, rest in peace for that. Come on down. If he's your friend, he's my friend. I mean, and so that's my spirit. Giving back now, not only do I want to, I love it, I feel like this generation, I want to get to their hearts. I've watched a certain generation where I don't know if they're as appreciative, they're as knowledgeable, or you know, or do they care as much about the past generation sometimes, you know, like when we saw Bill Russell, whoever that was before, Oscar Robertson, whoever that's before, hey, how you doing, sir? When I see Marcus Johnson out there, many different dudes, you know, Isaiah, Jamal Crawford, you know, Isaiah, my son, come meet these guys and, you know, pay homage,
shake their hands.
Respect. And I feel like some of that got lost, so I want to implement that back. I want to give back to my community. I want to give back to kids. I feel like I got a lot to give to the game. So part of that is, and then having my own child, when he came, it was like, you know, I'd rather be there for him and mentor him and give him the game rather than the next man, because what I was seeing was like every dad, you know, out there want to be a trainer, want to be a coach, and it's still like that. Even where I'm at now, it's like, it's ridiculous. And, you know, I see every daddy, every person, I'm gonna be this trainer, I'm gonna be this coach, and parents and kids running around crazy, changing trainers, changing coaches, doing this. Just stay consistent. Stay loyal to the game. You know what I mean? So I personally wanted to give back, you know what I mean? And it was good for me. I mean, it was good for my soul, good for my energy to, you know, to be productive, to do something that that will last a lifetime. Because you know, like I know, somebody in your life, you remember them forever. You know, so hopefully I can touch some of these kids that can say the same thing.
You got a doc you're working on, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you talk about it a little bit?
Yes. Isaiah Ryder, Raw and Uncut, you know. I got a heavy story, a great documentary, a great story of rising and trying to get to your destiny, trying to get to your dreams, attaining your dreams, attaining your goals, having some difficulties along the way. Not everything is all gravy, not everything is great. You know, you may get thrown off course and stick to it, getting back on it. And then, you know, you get to the league and it's going great and things are happening and you know, you're having a great career and, you know, at the end of your career, you know, well, first of all, I put it like this, you know, I look back at my career, everyone can look back at certain things. I should have did this, could have did this, could have did that. So I don't point fingers. I look within, I internalize, and then I just try to teach to the next man, to the next person, That's why you don't hear me out there bad-mouthing and this, that, and other. It's no one to blame. You know what I mean? Things could have went certain ways in certain situations, but it is what it is, right? So, you know, it's kind of a story that after basketball, real life issues started to happen, you know? The gentleman the other day on the football field, they had to come revive him and lost his life right there pretty much. They had to bring him back. Wow. You know, well, one day I'm talking to my mom like me and you talking, the next day I'm at the hospital, you know, and she's called the hospital, she's collapsing her arms and she's in the hospital, tubes everywhere and, you know, life support and, you know, everything else. And a couple days later, she's brain dead. And I'm like, she was 53 or so. I think I was 31, 32. So, and I had never experienced something so personal like that, or even death of friends, homies, this, that, and other, and this RIP, you know, and, you know, it's different though when it's your mom and when it's your loved one like that, you know. So when that happened, things started to happen in my life where, you know, depression, it just got really deep. So real life situations started to happen. And then in Oakland, some stuff was going on in the streets to where sometimes you could be an athlete and just living your life and the nature of the beast, you know, I'm a Cali cat, so the nature of California can close in on you. Just the nature of the beast of the city. So I started to feel that, you know, from the city, from Oakland, from, you know, from the Bay Area where just, you know, I'm a big fish in a small pond. You know what I mean? The wolves coming out, you know? So I'm going through things simultaneously at the same time, and then, you know, you go through life and then you wiggle out of that. Yeah. So it's kind of a redemption story, real life story. Yeah, and in the documentary, it gets really heavy, it gets really deep. But at the end of the day, you know, I come out of it shining, smiling, still here, but with a story to tell. So a lot of people was wondering, what's going on with Ryder? What happened? Or reading this, reading that. Well, when my mom went, you know, a lot of things started to happen. And then I had to bounce out of that, accept death, understand it, understand the health part of it. You know, I kept her on life support for a long time. I shouldn't have did that, but I wanted my mom. I was gonna leave it up to God, and you know, stuff like that. But I learned what being anoxic is and stuff like that. So the other day, that happened to the football player handling. It was like it hit home, man. You know, I shed a tear, like damn. You know what I mean? So life gets heavy, and then it's how you come out of it, though. So you know, the things I went through, it's just a story. It's just, you know, iron sharpens iron, and you know, God puts you here for a reason, and no one's immune to pain, frustration, life spiraling out of control, decisions from maybe not having I was on my own when stuff was happening. It was me against the world. You know, I was like solo for seemed like 10 years, just, you know, dealing with life, dealing with my mom, dealing with stuff. You and I had the same age, the same financial people, just dealing with people abandoning you, you know, people never speaking to you ever again after the league and shit like that, bro. So I had to wiggle and navigate. And then I had to be like, I'm tired of being tired, man. Like, you know, I accept my mom's death, man. It is what it is. I had been accepted it, but I had to really try to find my life, find my way, fix what I can, accept what I can't, and keep moving, keep grooving.
That's what it's about, man.
So at the end of the day, it's a redemption story. It's a beautiful story, but you know, people go through things, and it's how you come out of it, and then what do you give back into the world? The love, the energy.
You know, I think you need those stories, Jay. You know, I think you got so many. I think sometimes the lines get blurred. Sometimes the people and the kids, they jump into this, think that it's all a golden road and it's all sweet. And you know, I like to think that before obtaining something, you must go through something. And life is going to always present different hurdles. Life is going to put a bunch of probables in front of you. And I think that in order for you to get to the next level, you got to go through something to actually thicken skin. You know anything about professional sports, you know anything about, you know, even collegiate levels, you got to have certain skin. You got to have certain I really think the league is really built for a certain amount of people that can handle league shit.
Yeah.
Because only motherfuckers, only those 400 that get the right and earn the right to go in there and play every night and you earn your jersey, you earn your check, you earn your brand, you earn your square, you earn your space. And I think sometimes that gets blurred. So we need stories like this to let you know that, nah, you got to go through something. Nah, this player went through some real shit to be right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know the East Base phone. We know the good times. We seen you on all the good stuff. Nobody ever hears about the shit that really made you and really got you here. So I appreciate you, man. That documentary is needed. You feel what I'm saying?
Definitely, yeah,
we need
man.
those stories out
Thank
here,
you.
bro.
Appreciate that. I mean, everyone got a story to tell. I remember you telling me a story when you were young, you know, some of the stuff that you went through. You had to see, you had to live through. I don't even know if you remember. One time you told me, man, it just stuck with me to this day. You would go places in the house to be away from certain other places in the house because you didn't want to see all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel me? You remember that?
Do.
Real talk, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
and that was our connection too, man. Being able to, Sam Mitchell and Terry Porter was good for me, but I needed a nigga like you, and I needed a brother like you that can understand my journey. And it made it comfortable. You never made it weird. You never made me feel uncomfortable by telling you shit that only happened to me, or you know, it was something personal and shit. And that's why I think that I've always believed in you, and I've always believed in this brotherhood.
Definitely.
Between the two of us.
Thank you,
know
bro.
I
I believed it as well, bro.
You know what it is, man.
For all the years, I always told people, man,
Always,
KG, my brother, man, we only played 1 year together, but we had a bond, we had a connection.
I used to be mad at she. I used to be mad at she. I used to look at she like.
We see each other, we be like, what up, what up?
Always.
And I'm gonna tell you something. You wouldn't have went through all that motherfucking problems if they didn't trade me. You didn't get it right until I think Malik and then Sam, I guess, and Spree. But that was a little minute. And I will tell you this, so it would have been Steph, me, you, and Googs. And we kind of would have figured it out.
That's solid.
You know
A lot of people didn't know Googs.
After that, you went through a couple years of some stuff, and then y'all got right. Am I correct?
Yeah. And that's how it works. Nothing ever is given. Everything is earned. Don't ever forget that out there. You hear me?
Notice about the ticket.
And that's certified.
All his matchups. It was Roscoe, meaning Rasheed,
Dice,
McDice,
Joe Smith,
Duncan, a lot of dudes. And Ticket was that guy, man. I don't care what they say, man. You know what I mean? Like, just the flair and the flavor. You know what I mean? Like, if they would have let us rock for a little bit, I don't know what would have happened. But I love playing with you, bro. You brought a whole different energy. Roscoe is my guy, but I saw you and him go at it. You know, just
that's Rasheed
I'm on the
Wallace,
team, right?
Wallace.
I'm just watching. Right. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, Ticket different. You know what I mean? I already knew, because Roscoe was different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rasheed Wallace, you know what I mean? He was different. So, y'all, I watched you guys go at it, and I just watched you kind of separate yourself from the pack. I couldn't watch you and Tim as much, only when it was playoffs, but I watched you separate yourself, bro. I am so proud of you, man.
Thank you,
You're a monster, you're a killer, man. And you always had the mentality like, I belong, I'm here, and let's go. You know what I mean? I never forget to tell you, man, Pippen can't guard you. He can't get to your shot. You know what I mean? Such and such can't fuck with you. Da-da-da-da. And you just, man, you just had this spirit about you. And you rose, man. You know what I mean? You rose, man, and I'm proud of you, man. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of KG for real, though.
I'm a fan of JR, man. This my real big brother, you know what I'm saying? That's certified. Y'all know what it is. Hey.
We in the house.
Hello, beautiful.
Things are about to get wild.
Having any fun yet?
I need you to continue trusting me.
Wherever you go, we go.
You attack my family, it'll be the last thing you ever do.
You gotta be bad to do good.
What did you see?
He's done it again!
I'm still the alpha!
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
Whoa!